Welcome into the Pat Miller Show. How you doing? Wednesday morning, I'm Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. This is America's Small Business Conversation, and I'm going to mix things up a little bit. I'm here on social media. I'm across my entire platform, like all of my social accounts. We're broadcasting live. And this show and the point of our show is pretty darn simple. I'm going to show up and we are going to have a conversation about building your small business because, as you know, we've met. My fundamental belief is you shouldn't have to grow your small business alone. So this show, my vision for this show is that this is just a daily conversation eventually where we just get to kick around the things that are happening inside small business and we can help you stay motivated and on the right track. So here's how this show works, and it's a little bit different. This isn't pre-recorded. It's 9:32 in the morning. This is a live show. So when you're ready, I want to see you drop into the comments and say hello. I want your questions, comments, and sarcastic remarks. And you see that link right over here? If you click on that link when you're ready, you can join me on the show. So you just click on the link and you'll pop up right next to me and you can weigh in with what you have to say and what's on your mind today. So what are we talking about today? Oh man, I got stuff to say. First of all, nobody cares about your small business. It's a sad fact, and I can prove it. The other thing that hit me today is there is a big group of people, many people in your life that you should not listen to at all when it comes to small business advice. They're completely disqualified. Completely disqualified. Zip it, stuff it. I don't want to hear from you. We'll talk about who that is. We're launching a new feature for the Idea Collective Small Business Rebellion. There's a new small business confidence survey that I'll ask you to participate in. And then we're going to talk about networking for a minute. We did a conversation yesterday in the group about 3 people that you should connect with when it comes to small business networking, and maybe that will unlock some ideas. All right, so let's start at the beginning. Nobody cares about your small business, and I can prove it. First thing first, when you think about what's happening in the small business space, and I say nobody cares about your small business, one way that we can prove it is that half of us are going to fail by year 5, and there's not some breaking CNN scroll saying, oh my God, we're all going to die. Because can you imagine if any other industry in the country was failing at 50%? There would be like national councils of OMG. People that are freaking out because half of us are going under. It would not be tolerated anywhere else. And you know why it wouldn't be tolerated? Because you can start a small business out of your own pocket. You can start a small business with your own signature. And the only person that fails if you fail is you. But if you were losing some rich dude's money, this would be a big deal. So the first way that we know that nobody cares about your small business is that no one's really that bothered that half of us are failing when we start our business. So that sucks. The other way that I can prove that no one cares about your small business, I did this the other day. I thought to myself, okay, so who's covering small business news? Like outside of conversations like this and the people that you talk to, who do you know that's running a small business and how do you know how they're doing? Like who's up on all of the issues that are facing the small business community? So I thought, okay, here's what I'll do. I'll type into the Google, blah, 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 blah. Type into the Google. That was my typing noise, blah, blah, blah. Type into the Google, small business news. Small business news. And what came up when I typed in small business news? CNBC came up. Like, oh, hot damn. CNBC must be covering small business. So when I clicked into small business news and I looked at what CNBC was doing, CNBC hadn't updated their small business news page in 9 months. That was the number one Google result. Small business news, 9 months. Unbelievable. If they're incentivized to cover business, but their small business page hasn't been updated in 9 months, it kind of tells you what you need to know. It's not a thing. And yes, Susie Moon, 9 months is the last time that they updated their page. So to be fair, we found a few other places where they were updating small business news. But I thought to myself, those things combined of Small business isn't being covered the way that it should. And the other thing is that half of us are going out of business and nobody cares. That's one of the reasons why this show is on the air, why we're building the Idea Collective, and why we need to talk. So when you're ready, I'd love to hear from you. Click the link and we'll bring you on the show and say hello. All the rest of you, thank you for joining us this morning in the comments, because at any good Idea Collective event, the comments are where it's at. And Susie Moon's in the house, so I expect some inappropriate action because, Susie's funny. She's always got something to say. All right, that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Nobody cares about your small business, and I can prove it. The other thing I want to talk about this morning is that some people want to give you business advice, and you should not talk with them. You should not listen to them when it comes to understanding your business and what you should do next. Do you want to know who that is? They're normally the people that are closest to you. These people don't know what they're talking about. The people are people with a paycheck. If there's someone in your life that gets a paycheck from someone, don't listen to them when it comes to small business advice. They work for a corporation, they work for somebody else's company, and they get a paycheck every 2 weeks. You cannot listen to them when it comes to small business advice. You can't do it. And the reason why is that they're incentivized in a completely different way. Their life is totally different. They're like a lion in a zoo, not a lion in the wild. A lion in the zoo, they are protected. No one's going to get them. And the food, bloop, shows up. That's my food noise. Bloop, shows up twice a day, every day. Oh, thank you, zookeeper, for giving me my food. People with a paycheck aren't incentivized the same way that we are incentivized. And because of that, you cannot listen to them when it comes to small business advice. They are completely disconnected from our lifestyle. Because as a small business owner, tell me you've heard this before, you eat what you kill, similar to the lion. And what happens to you, Diane Crowley? What happens to you, Amy Pierquette, if you don't get the deal? What happens? Is someone going to swoop in and save you? No. You're just not going on vacation this summer. Or you're just going to have to put that expense on your credit card. Or you're just not going to make it this month, I guess. And then what happens if you are running a small business and you don't get the deal? What happens to you? Maybe you don't make the mortgage. Maybe you don't pay back the SBA the way that you should. Maybe you default on your credit card. And then, which ones of these loans do I have personal guarantees on? What kind of debt is going to follow me around when my business fails? Half of us are failing anyway. Could you imagine? Just imagine what you're doing right now fails. And you had to wake up and you had to think, okay, what would I do next? What would I do next? No way. I'm completely unemployable. There's no way I could go work for someone else again, right? Are you unemployable? I am completely unemployable. There is no chance that I could go back and work for someone else. And see, look, I told you Susie's got the jokes. Pivot. Yes, we'd have to pivot. That's for sure. But the idea of going back to work for somebody else, there's just no way. I mean, I barely did it the first time. But now that I'm in my basement, my PJ pants, and playing golf any time of the week that I feel like it, there's no chance that I could go back and work for someone else. And yes, Amy says she's unemployable as well. So those are two of the things I wanted to share this morning. If someone pulls a paycheck and they don't have to eat what they kill, don't listen to them when it comes to small business advice. And the other thing is a reminder that nobody cares about your small business, and I can prove it. Now, I mentioned that there's something new going on with the Small Business Rebellion. So in August, we're doing an event in Chicago. Mike Michalowicz is coming to the event, by the way. And if you don't know Profit First and you run a small business, you should. Because as soon as you read Profit First, you become instantly profitable. But Mike is going to come in person. We get to hang out with him, which is just the coolest. And he's the most fun dude. So he's going to join us for this special one-day event. But there's a new wrinkle that's happening at the Small Business Rebellion event. And I want to share it with you today if I can click the right button. Where is it? Well, it's not here. It should be here. It's not here. We are launching a new survey, a small business confidence survey. So what that means is we're going to do a survey of Midwest small business owners because I want to see what is going on in the small business space. Are you feeling like things are going well? Are you feeling like your clients are more price sensitive than they used to be? How's your revenue projecting? Are you going to make 2023 or not? I'm going to run this confidence survey for the next, 6 weeks. And then at the Small Business Rebellion, I'm going to reveal all the results. So we're going to get fresh data from everyone that takes the survey. Whether you're coming to the event or not, I want you to take the survey. So we're going to put that link up in the chat so you can take the survey yourself. And there it is, smallbusinessrebellion.com. And then right here is the survey link. Thank you, Susie, for grabbing that link. So if you can click that link and take the survey, that way we can get all of this great data and find out what's going on in the small business space. Because when we stand up on stage and we share with you the results, we're going to get those answers to the questions. So I'm curious, just if you're in the comments here today, I'm curious, where do you think the economy is going to be by the end of the year? Do you think it's going to grow, or it's going to shrink, or it's about the same? That's one of the questions that we have inside the survey. Another one is, how are you doing on your 2023 revenue? Are you going to beat your 2023 projection? Are you behind? And how are your customers doing? Are your customers more price sensitive than they used to be? And how about your pricing as well? All of these questions are going to be answered inside the small business survey. So grab that link that Susie put up there on the screen and make sure you take the small business survey. That way you can be a part of our conversation. All right, one more thing I want to share before we get out of here for today. Inside the Idea Collective, we do an event called the Idea Slam, which is an interactive brainstorming discussion that happens twice a week, every week. It's my favorite event of the week. We get a chance to solve problems and capture opportunities and yada, yada, yada. Well, I've been doing some guided discussions, and I've got 3 people that you should reach out to network today. And we'll walk through this interactive discussion together. So there are 3 people in your network you should reach out to today. And there's a reason why. Here's the first person. Now, I suggest you write this down because I'm going to describe the type of person, and then you write down someone that matches that description. You ready? This is going to be really important. Okay, first one. The first person is someone in your life that had a huge impact on where you are today. Think back in your life, someone that gave you advice, someone that redirected your career, someone that had the courage to tell you that something wasn't right, or to project a future that was brighter than where you are right now. There's someone in your past that fits that description. A mentor, a teacher, a family friend, a former boss, whatever it might be. So that's the first person. I want you to think about who that person is. Can you think of that person? Okay, write their name down. The second person that you need to reach out to today is a power partner. I want you to think of someone that also talks to the people you're trying to engage. So if you are a mortgage loan officer, maybe it's a realtor. You see what I mean? They're adjacent to your prospective customers. They can do introductions for you. A power partner is someone that you need to hold close and have on your radar at all times. So think of a power partner for you. Write that name down. So now you've got someone that's affected your life and you've got a power partner. And then the third one is someone that's a few chapters ahead of where you are. Think about what you're trying to build. Is there someone on your radar that's already built it? Think about someone that maybe has done the thing you want to do. So, for example, let's say you want to write a book and you've never written a book. And you say, wow, Andy Wines just published his book. Lisa Rabel, she published her book. Find someone that's done the thing you're trying to do and put them down on your list. So we've got 3 people. We've got someone that is a mentor, someone that redirected your life. We've got a power partner, someone that can help you right now get more business. And then the third person is someone that's done the thing that you're trying to do. Now, Pat, why are you directing us towards these 3 people? The reason why I'm doing that is that we normally just worry about the people in the middle. We normally just worry about, oh my gosh, who can I talk to that's going to help me get business today? It's like we're just paddling and paddling and paddling, trying to get new clients. But when you worry about the other 2 as well, something really cool happens. By taking time and intentionally reaching out to someone from your past, you're reconnecting to a potential that you had. You're reconnecting with someone that saw a future for you. And there's something there in that moment of transformation that will reconnect you with your ability and your future. You're not living in the present. You're living in that transformational moment that someone saw in you. So, for example, for me, I had a longtime mentor and still current friend that now lives in Madison who saw a really bright future for me. And Mark helped direct me towards where I am today. Great guy. Saw him last year for dinner, want to do dinner again. Reaching out to him and just saying, thank you. I don't need anything from you. I just want to show my appreciation and gratitude. It's powerful because those people and those relationships, they're borderline magic. Then you do have to stay up in your power partners, and there's got to be someone that you haven't talked to in a minute. Reaching out to them is just good business. But then the third person, that person that's done the thing that you're wishing to do, that person is going to help you take your eyes from the desktop and look up on the horizon about where you're going. And if you reach out to the right person and you say, hey, I really respect what you've built, Lisa Rabel. I want to build a speaking and writing career as well. How did you do it? That can help keep you motivated about what's coming next. So when we talk about networking, we really talk about what's going on right now. We talk about how do we grow the business today. But yesterday we had this discussion and I thought it was pretty fun. And we went through every single person on the call and they all wrote down all 3 of those people. So hopefully you did the same, because when you get to networking today and when you jump on the LinkedIn today, hello, all those of you watching on LinkedIn, look for those people and see if that could open some interesting discussions for you today. So this show, what I'm doing right here is a preview of what we do all the time, because my show is syndicated over 26 stations all across the country. So if you want to check out the Pat Miller Show, you can just go to patmillershow.com and subscribe to the show. We're on iTunes, and every week we're interviewing really smart people and we're talking about the things that show up in our small business. Now, remember, go back to the beginning. Nobody cares about your business, and half the people in your life are disqualified from helping you build it because they're just not motivated the same way you are. But when you join a discussion like this, when you listen to the show, when you're a part of the Idea Collective or the Small Business Rebellion, you're surrounded with people that get it. They say like-minded people, like really like-minded people, and like-motivated people as well. Our entire point of view is collaboration over competition, and this show and the show that we do every week on the radio is designed and custom built just for you. So subscribe to the show, and if we're connected on social, do me a favor, will you? Hit me up and let me know what you want to see me talk about here on the show. Let me know how we could improve what we're doing here, because I've been very fortunate in the last 3 years to connect with a lot of great entrepreneurs, small business owners that really believe in collaboration over competition and live out the lifestyle of don't grow it alone. So I respect you and I appreciate you. And I want to hear how this little show that we're doing here and our weekend radio show could be even more impactful. Because as I thought about what we're doing, we're doing the hard stuff, but we're doing the stuff. Um, it's not scaled to the point where it could. We're not serving as many people as we could. So we're doing the radio show, we're doing the events, and we're doing the Idea Collective Small Business Incubator. And we're doing it for you. Like, that's why this show exists. So hit me up with a message, send me a question, comment, or sarcastic remark, and you can be a part of what we're doing here. On future episodes here on this platform, we're going to have some more interaction. We're going to do some surveys and polls, and we're going to bring some people onto the show, because if you click that link, you can come right on the show just like that. It's pretty darn cool. So I'm Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. Thank you for joining us on this very first episode here on all the social channels. Like I say, find the show on iTunes or Spotify, or head to patmillershow.com to hear the polished up, beautiful version that we put out on the radio on the weekend. And we'll talk to you real soon on this channel and also in the Idea Collective for Small Business Owners.